I ain't never seen so many retarded motherfuckers in one building in my life.
I ain't been watching that shit. We live. Hold on, Joe. Went live.
What's up? Did he put us live?
He did.
Tell him I'm smoking. I'll be right back.
All right.
Where you at? So, Pete, where do you think this is going? It's cold. Oh.
Yo.
What's going on, Junior?
What's going on, fellas?
Another day.
While I was outside smoking.
I had to run to the convenience store and get some pork skins and some sun drop and a couple beers. And the line was pretty long, so it took me
Has everybody had a good week?
a few minutes longer. I did. Went
Congratulations
paddleboarding
on your
yesterday.
award.
Oh,
Huh?
thank you. Yeah, I went to the lake yesterday and it was high. The lake was very high. They were running a lot of water apparently yesterday.
What's up, Benji? Hey, Pete, JR, Pete, question for both of you guys. Do they drop y'all's lakes a lot in the winter like they do ours? All our chains drop about October, November.
I think the winter drawdown. I think they do that across the globe for the winter.
Yep.
For reservoirs.
You
And the
think
reason
it helps fishing or hurts it?
Well,
But
go ahead, Pete.
I think it helps it personally. Lower the water. The
Less ground you have to
more,
cover.
I guess, these fish won't be in the backs of creeks when the water is real low, for us at least.
So what do you do then? Just fishing the channels?
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
Lake
yeah.
Norman is mainly the main lake I fish in the wintertime, but for the most part, it's just a deep-ass lake, you got pockets in the back, but a lot of times when the water is down, the fish will pull out the pockets sooner, and they'll be in the main lake.
I asked this question before.
Crappie, everything.
I asked this question a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot the answer, so I'm going to bring this up again. And, this may be a dumb question to some people, but I'm not really sure how this works, so it's not dumb to me. So anybody thinks this is a dumb question, mind your fucking business.
Damn.
When you got a riverbed, say you start at Kiwi Dam runs into Hartwell. Okay, you got the Savannah River and the damn, my mind just went blank.
The Seneca.
Say you got the Seneca River, Savannah River. Okay, they call that a riverbed. Is that current always moving? Or even when they're pulling water, say they're dumping water out of Kiwi Dam, going down Seneca River. Is there a current, or does that current just go so far and then it stops and then you've got water in a riverbed? I mean, is there a riverbed of current? Everybody likes to fish riverbeds and they say fish or get on the edge of the riverbed, or I don't see how current moves that far.
I think that you basically have a natural flow year round, like you mentioned, the winter drawdown. The winter drawdown, there's not nearly as much water evaporating as there were in the summer. The plants aren't needing as much water. Everything's cooling down. So most of your flow in the wintertime, I want to say, is just for flood control, just for shoreline properties, to keep shoreline properties from getting flooded mostly. So you got a natural flow in the winter. Then in the summertime, of course, they're pulling water for power and there's a lot of evaporation going on. So you got, the flood control for that part of the year. But I think that you got a decent flow year round, I would think. I don't know if that answers your question. That's my attempt at answering your question.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure how long the Savannah is. I think the Seneca, as far as the riverbed, is longer than the Savannah, but just is that water it's like in that riverbed. I know it's deeper when you get over, you get in the channel, what we call the channel riverbed is deeper. But is that water, is there a current, a constant current through the whole lake? Is that water always moving? If it is, I don't understand the physics of that.
Well, if there are dams, then no, it's not a constant flow because you have the dams preventing a constant flow.
Okay, so say when the dam, there again, let's say they're letting water run on Kiwi, or they're letting water off Hartwell. When they're pulling water, I still don't understand. You've got such a large volume of water. How's the flow concentrating just in that riverbed?
Well, it's not. It's flowing through. You're going to have more of a current in the river portion of a reservoir, like the top half of the lake. That's why your top half of the lake, there isn't as much stratification that goes on because of that current. So the current dissipates as it gets down into the bigger body of water of the reservoir where there's still stratification. So there's no flow on the bottom half of the reservoir to speak of. It's just too big of a body of water. I mean,
That's what I was thinking.
It would be like a balloon. If you took a giant hot air balloon and filled it with water and put a pinhole in it, that would be how much flow you have inside that balloon, which is virtually none.
Nothing. That's what I was thinking. That's why I couldn't figure out why does everybody always want to go fish the channel. Hell, if the water's not moving, there's no current there. All you get is the water.
The channel's a good place to fish, not because there's current there, but it's because when there is current there, that's where your current tends to gather and flow, and it creates while they're running water, as that water is running, there's current breaks, like creek channels and cover that's diverting current, and all that stuff collects debris. It collects all types of microorganisms that feed on that debris. That's where all your plankton's going to be, because it's a pinch point basically. But I get what you're saying. If they're running water, there's going to be very, very little, if any. I can't imagine there being any current on a lake as big as, say, Lake Murray or even Lake Norman. You get down around below mid lake, you get down around the Westport area south of Mountain Creek. You think that main river channel actually has flow in it from where they're releasing water from Lookout Shoals?
Yeah, I don't see how that's possible. I don't. I mean, when I think of riverbed, I think, well, when you look at it on your map, it's just that's the original river. That was the river running through there before they impounded the lake. So I don't see how there's current, even if they're pulling water or dumping water. How that channel keeps current. I don't physically see that.
What's making us think too damn hard?
That's what I love. That's one of the things. That's my favorite thing about fishing is gathering information. I definitely love science. I remember when I was a kid, my grandma bought me a microscope, and I had these. I would get like samples of water and like from a mud puddle and put them on the glass and smash it on there and look at it under a microscope, and you could see all of the little microorganisms. And I remember this one microorganism. It was called a rotifer. I had this book, and you could look up these microorganisms, like what was in water, and it would show you these images and to give you a description of the organism. And I'm pretty sure what I was looking at one time was called a rotifer, rotifer. And that's one of the many, many microorganisms that start our food chain in our lakes. So that's why I want to learn about plankton and phytoplankton and zooplankton, and what is zooplankton, and why are bait in the back of creeks in the fall. When the fall sets in and the water temps get down in the 50s, and all of a sudden, man, it's time to hit the backs of the creeks. The fish are in the backs of the creeks. Well, why? Well, it's because the water's warmer back here. Okay, but why? Well, it's because that's where the bait is. Okay, but why? And I just keep on asking why. And I want to get down to the root. I want to go down as far as I could possibly go. And that's plankton and microorganisms. And I'm learning how threadfin shad feed on different things than gizzard shad. That's why you'll see a lot of threadfin are more of an open water fish. They'll be up on the surface a lot of times. If you're out on the lake and you see a bunch of bait fish up on the surface, that's threadfin shad. It's not gizzard shad. Gizzard shad aren't on the surface. So gizzard shad they're feeding on microorganisms that are on the bottom. That's why, and that's probably why a big giant gizzard shad is such a pristine bait for catfish, because catfish, they feed on the bottom a lot. I'm not saying they don't feed anywhere else, but I just like putting together the puzzle. You'll never have it put together, but it's fun.
Right.
It's fun. It's like a huge jigsaw puzzle.
When you have it put together, someone knocks that bitch off the table and you got to start all over, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You learn something that you believed your entire life. I do that. I've done that a lot in my life. You believe something your entire life, and then all of a sudden you learn that wasn't even true. And it's crazy. So you kind of have to have an open mind. You can't be set in your ways. You have to just learn as much as you possibly can and go where you think the fish should be. You know, that's why fishing, another reason it's so great, is because it's the only sport in which you can't see your opponent. You have to just go where you think the fish will be. It's tough. If you think about it, like in the fall, when the bait start to school up, that is the hardest time to fish, because the bait are concentrated in areas, and in between those concentrations of bait is a vast amount of dead water. You know what I mean? So they're concentrating in an area for a reason, because there's food there, there's light there, there's whatever it is that's making them go there. They're there for a reason, and they're not in the rest of the water for a reason. So if you find a concentration of bait, chances are you hit a gold mine, because there's got a lot of dead water between that concentration of bait you found and the next concentration of bait. I feel like in the fall, if you can't find the bait, you got a real good chance of getting skunked.
One thing I've noticed in the fall, some of the reservoirs I fish, Baden Lake especially, and even Lake Norman, we'll use that for example. A lot of the bait, most of the bait in the fall is located in a small amount of water. So you find that bait, pretty much stay by it all day.
What is that old saying? 90% of the fish are in 10% of the water.
About right.
I think the saying
in the fall, man, it's just so packed in one general area that it's kind of hard to fish, because there's just so much bait for the fish to eat in one little area.
It makes you wonder why.
Baden
and
is
I think
particular with that. I mean, all the bait for some reason on Baden Lake goes in the same little 2-mile portion of that lake, and I mean it piles in there and just troll up and down the whole entire time for your game fish, catfish, everything.
I think it has to do with the photosynthesis period. Like in the fall, like right now, we have less than a month before the first day of fall. So I think that the days are getting shorter. Well, I don't think that. I know that the days are definitely getting shorter. And as the days are getting shorter, the lakes are receiving less and less amounts of sunlight. So why is it then we start to see this bait start to concentrate and start to move into the backs of creeks in the fall? Is it due to the daylight being less? And is that having something to do with because plankton, zooplankton, has to have sunlight. So they're going to go where they can get the amount of sunlight they need.
How about the phytoplankton?
Well, the zooplankton or zooplankton, however you want to say it, they create phytoplankton. So in order for them to create phytoplankton, they need photosynthesis from the sun.
Can you spell that?
Yes, PHOTOSYNTHESIS, photosynthesis.
No, forgot the I.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyways, I lost my train of thought, but yeah, there's a lot of different theories on why bait gather up in the back in the fall. I don't think has as much to do with the water temp as people think it does.
You think fish have anything to do with pushing bait in the back of creeks?
You know what I think it is? Well, one of the things I think when they run water, that's why a lot of these pockets, these coves, you go to any river portion of a lake and you're trying to catch bait, you're going up into a river portion. Anytime it has pockets and coves, that's where you go to catch bait. And I think the reason that is because I think the plankton is driven by current mostly. Now they are the biggest migration on the planet every day. The biggest migration on the planet takes place daily. And it's plankton. So they're able to move vertically. They go up and down. I think they have like little tails. They're little microscopic organisms, but they have a tail. They can move in the water. But I think maybe they can only move up and down. But anyways, I think that the majority of their movement in a lake is due to the current. So when you're running current, as that current's going down the river, it's pushing plankton up into these pockets, up into these creeks and creek mouths and pockets and coves. That's why your bait are up in there. Not only that is it's shallow, so all of the plant life. Whereas if you were talking about the deep channel, all of your plant life and trees and any kind of biological matter is sinking to the bottom and rotting and biodegrading and robbing the water of oxygen. In a creek or in a cove that's shallow, that sunlight can penetrate all that shit on the bottom. There's an algae growth and an algae bloom, and it's the plankton that's causing that. They're photosynthesizing and creating their own food, and the zooplankton are eating the phytoplankton, and the gizzard shad are eating.
Rot. I don't like nothing couldn't like rust. You could put a piece of steel in water, and it'll stay there 200 years until it hits air.
I think it's got a lot to do with whether or not the sunlight is penetrating it, because you have all types of growth, like bacteria growth, on any object that the sun is able to reach. So yes, if you put something in the water and it sinks to the bottom of the lake where sunlight can't penetrate, then yeah, it would probably, I'm sure it would preserve it. I don't know about that, but that'd be my guess.
Well, I've always wondered about trees. How does trees stand for 50, 60 years in a reservoir? Straight up.
Well, they're feeding from the water. There's all kinds of just like zooplankton and phytoplankton, like trees, like they filter the water too, and they get nutrients from the water too. So that's why they can grow in water.
Microorganisms have to have each other.
Yes. I think. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out, man.
So where do you think
ball fishing seems to be toughest usually?
Where does these fish go, Junior, when it gets cold? And why do they go there?
Well, you have the fall turnover. As that water temp as the air temp starts to drop and that surface layer starts to get cooler, it becomes more dense and it starts to sink until it goes to the bottom. And then you have all the water that was on the bottom is now mixed into the entire water column, and there's no stratification anymore. It's so then there's all types of nutrients in the water, but then there's not enough sunlight to photosynthesize. So you have a lot of dead water. And that's why in the wintertime, a lot of your plankton, it dies, it sinks to the bottom. That's, if you ever noticed in the wintertime, the water's much, much clearer. That's why, because there's no nutrients up there.
Kind of like that grass, all that shit we got into up there in Tennessee. Dude, that was terrible.
Yeah. That grass is like that because that's a huge flat.
Yeah.
and the sun can penetrate the bottom there. You know, that's the
But
difference in a
what
pond and a lake.
caused it all of a sudden? It's never been like that before that I know of. That just started last year, the earlier part of last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
Maybe
never
it's
been like that.
Well,
Todd said he's never seen it like that nowhere on that river.
that's a very good
like
question.
That, and did you notice it's only like that about 100 yards?
Yeah.
And then it just stopped. It cleared up.
Well, when it cleared up, was it the same depth? Or did it go deep? Oh, it was?
No. You're about 8 foot all the way until you get right up near the boat ramp. It drops to about 2 foot, 2.5 foot. So
I don't know. I think something. My guess would be something changed on the river bottom. Something changed that disrupted the normal flow on that river, and I think maybe that stretch. I don't know. I'm about to step in a hole. I have no idea.
That stretch stagnant, no moving water.
That's what I was kind of getting at, but that's a stretch.
There's a whole stretch down through there that's stagnant that don't get no moving water a lot. So why just that one area, about that 100-yard area?
There could be a diversion. That could be the current could be going around it, so that water's kind of staying there and allowing photosynthesis to take place. It's basically isolated from the rest of the river, and it's like a pond.
Could it be that there's no hard bottom? Could it be because it's not rocky there? Maybe it's a soft bottom, or
the only thing I think of is no real good flow right there that allows the water to get hot and allowing that shit to grow in that area.
But you'd think, though, as much as they draw water, it might get hot for 2 or 3 days. But even once it starts growing, when that 55 degree water starts coming across it, it would kill whatever's there.
You know how we have.
Will it kill all those microorganisms you're talking about? Will it kill that?
100%. Yes. In the wintertime, you won't have that grass. I guarantee it. And here's another theory is it could, you know how we have invasive, it's not really a theory. This is actually just a complete guess. You know how we have invasive species? You know how we have like non-indigenous or non-native species in our lakes, like kind of like Asian carp, you know how they're taking over kudzu. Like if we're talking about plants, you know, how kudzu's taking over. Maybe there are invasive microscopic organisms. You know, maybe there are some types of invasive plankton.
Well, I mean, I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm calling them orgasms.
Damn, boy.
Trailer park.
Anyway, so you want to do any fishing this week at all? Since we're talking about microorganisms, anything?
Why are you wanting to go with me?
No, not really.
Oh,
I was asking.
JR, if you didn't listen before, I'd go with you.
JR
But
said
listen,
he went.
not next weekend, not Labor Day weekend, but the weekend after. Y'all want to go? You want to go to Tennessee, Pete? Me and some buddies are going.
That might be possible. Let me know when time comes closer for sure.
Where I fish, the fish are there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, JR?
Mm-hmm.
They are there. And they should be there till about October, first week in November, give or take. Good time, boy. I've been waiting for it all year. They finally got there.
Cool.
Window, you know, those windows don't stay open, Wes. You better strike when the iron's hot, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, every year so far, when they get there, they stay there about 2 months.
And see, they're there now, right?
And they're there. They got there about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Did all that rain push them in there?
You know, Pete, I don't really know.
All that water flow and all that migrating microorganisms push them in there?
Yeah, that could have something to do with it, but they're there.
Sweet.
I'm looking through my show notes here to see if
who is Queen Matt?
Matt Queen. I don't know. He said you're gonna get Bushwhacker to put you on him.
Brother, if I had to wait for Bushwhacker to put me on something, I'd never catch fish because I've caught more 40 and 50 pound fish than Bushwhacker's ever thought about catching.
He's not going to Loudon or Melton Hill.
Yeah, I'm not no party fisherman, buddy. I party fish here in my backyard and don't have to drive 5 hours.
Peach over there making yawning noises. I think
Yeah,
we're boring him to
me.
death.
Hey, Wes, speaking of all that fishing, mark me down for the last week of September for what we talked about there at my house.
All right, last week of September.
Yeah, I got the last 5 days off of the month there, and that's gonna be a perfect time, I think.
What you want to do? What you want to do?
I need an HVAC guy over. I need a
Oh.
professional.
I thought y'all were gonna go fishing.
We are.
Oh, we will go fishing too after that, but yeah.
We're gonna do 1 day offshore, 1 day inshore. Can I bring my buddy JR?
Wait a minute now.
Bring them.
You're talking about HVAC
Yeah.
at your house here? At home?
Here, as in my home, yeah.
Yeah. Then y'all are gonna go.
Yeah, if he's going to drive all the way up there, might as well, kill two birds with one stone, like go crappie fishing or something productive that he can handle.
We're going crappie.
And
One
then
day
Y'all are confusing me because you're saying that he's coming to work on your HVAC, and then y'all are going to go fishing. We're going to the coast. Y'all said y'all were going to go to the coast.
We are.
We will at some point one day, but not that go around.
Okay, because back at home, you're not nowhere near the coast. You're a couple 100 miles from the coast. You're going to go fishing on a lake near your house. Okay.
Yeah. And fill Wes's freezer with some crappie. The easy button.
And I'll take it. I'm gonna grab you something to drink, fellas.
All right.
As long as you don't go to Norman, you will.
Right. I gotta take Wes to Bain Lake, Bain or Tuckertown, because High Rock's gonna be off limits that whole entire week for me.
A common misconception. A lot of guys think that crappie spawn. They know they spawn in the spring, but they think they also spawn in the fall, and they don't. Like the only reason, not the only reason, but I think a reason the crappie are shallow in the fall is because that is where the bait is.
Dude, High Rock Lake will blow you away as far as crappie fishing, man. High Rock has got no rules at all. You can catch them all year long, 100-degree water temperature or 35-degree water temperature. You can catch them in less than 4 foot of water all year long on the High Rock.
I fished High Rock once, about 15 years ago, and I didn't catch shit.
It's crazy. I mean, it depends sometimes. They migrate to them damn fish in High Rock, but all these tournaments that I've won, these small little, we'll call them small club tournaments, 5, 6, 8. I think 8 boats have been the most so far, but everyone that I've won this summer has been fishing in less than 8 foot of water. All of them.
Oh, wow. I wonder why that is.
It's interesting, man. High Rock it's got no rules, man. These crappie, for some reason, just like they chase bait in the shallow water, or they stage up on stump piles. I don't know.
They're probably eating threadfin.
Definitely are, but they're not gorging themselves at all. So they're just locked up on a stump, and they'll just sit there.
Matt Queen said, "Have you been to Grenada?"
I have not been to Grenada.
Tell us what Grenada is.
Let's see, lake in Mississippi, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's the trophy lake of the entire Southeast for crappie. Wes is muted. You muted, Wes.
Who muted him?
I did. I was on the phone.
Good job.
This guy, Matt, is Matt just a new follower?
Matt, Wes wants to know who the hell you are, bro.
Well, he knows Anthony, so I didn't know if I've never seen his name come up before, but welcome to the show, buddy. Glad you're watching. We need all the help we can get. Hell, we're at 8 viewers right now.
We're rocking it, man.
Yeah, we're rocking. If you got any cousins or aunts or uncles that fish, fuck it. Put some of your kids on here. They got it to make the viewers look good. Up the views.
Hey, you know what's weird though? Last week, for example, I don't look at it every week, but I happened to look last week. The very next day, the next morning,
a bunch of people watch.
I looked at our video on Facebook. Now, this is just Facebook, not counting YouTube or Instagram or anything else, just Facebook. I looked at it the next day, and it had 450 views, our live stream. So it doesn't do bad, but we just don't have a lot of people watching live for whatever reason. But we get hundreds of views the very next day. So
Mike Bradford said he listens to it every morning going to work.
I have a friend that listens to the whole show every day.
Do we need to shift back to Tuesdays?
We can if you guys want to. It doesn't matter to me. It
completely doesn't matter. A little bit. I think these Thursdays might be a little tougher for me coming up for the rest of the year because my airline has kind of shifted flying to more so away from Tuesday, Wednesdays, and more so Thursday through Monday, I guess.
Okay. All right, guys. From here on out,
I'm not saying from here on out, but we'll see how it roll on my end. And
let us know. Let us know probably by the weekend, and
we can go ahead and change it. We can just go ahead and go live Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, and just get back on a Tuesday schedule.
Oh, hey, Matt, Anthony, JR Matt said Anthony goes to the beach with him. Oh, so you're the one that shows his big ass how to fish down there.
Damn.
I was wondering how he is catching fish. So Matt Queen's showing him how to fish. See, Anthony didn't tell us all that. You know what Anthony's favorite 2 words is when you tell him, if you try to tell him anything, I don't give a damn what it is. He's got 2 favorite words. You know what they are, JR?
That's right.
No. I know.
What is it? Pete knows.
I know.
Say it, Pete.
I know.
No.
It took him a second. That's what I meant. I know. All right. Anyways, go ahead.
He said bullshit. Bullshit. I don't care what you tell him. If the sun's shining, you said Anthony's sun shining out there. No, bullshit. Bullshit. That's his 2 favorite words.
That damn tape measure ain't 20 inches. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah. Or, hey, Matt, or he'll say, you stupid.
You're right about that, yeah.
He does do that.
Matt knows him real good. Anthony's my boy, though. Anthony's a good dude. I don't know, Benji. What's your favorite word? My favorite word is MF, or that's probably my favorite word. That's that's the universal language. Did you realize how many times that word can be used in any sentence?
Mm-hmm. Because that's probably the main reason why we only got 8 viewers nowadays, live viewers.
Well, tell them motherfuckers they don't have to watch us. See what I mean? See how easy that was?
Right? Yeah.
This is not a kid show.
We don't promote it. We don't even have it on Pete's profile. It's not even on Pete's profile. So it's on mine and Wes's profile. For some reason, it doesn't even show up on Wes's profile.
It is now. I'm gonna say, wait a minute. Well, it was.
I've never seen it on your profile.
Well, it's showing Wesley Rose 0. Ain't nobody watching it from my page. Let me see if it's on here.
I mean, if you guys want this show to be successful, we can make it successful. But y'all are going to have to do it too. Y'all are going to have to start posting promotional content.
Well, JR, it says I'm live.
Okay, good.
Pete, go to your page. Go to my Facebook page. See if you can see the show, buddy.
I see it on JR's, and I don't see on Wes's.
Okay. JR, we need to fit. We talk about this shit all the time. We're gonna fix it, but I don't know what to do. Yeah. It says I'm live.
Yep. Well, I think you need to spend a day figuring it out.
I don't know nothing about this shit.
I think you and Pete just need to take a whole day and just do nothing but study StreamYard.
Damn.
Yeah. I need a professor to teach me that shit.
Did y'all hear what happened in Arizona today?
No.
Let me guess. Something to do with the DNC.
No. Trump was giving a speech down there. Some guy called a threat into him, and they said it was a plausible threat, and they started a manhunt for this motherfucker. Yeah, in Arizona, he was down there giving a speech at the border, and some guy called in and threatened his life, said he's going to kill him, blah, blah, blah. And they said it was a credible threat. That's the word I was looking for. Credible.
Okay.
So one thing that's good about being on the road is I get to tune out all fucking news, all politics. Don't even turn on my damn TV at all. And so I come back home to a fresh new beginning. I have no idea what's happened the last 3 days, 2 days, however long gone.
Do they have TVs in Puerto Rico?
I don't care to turn it on. I'd rather walk around.
Oh, they do have them there, though?
Oh, yeah. See, it's TV right there. It's off.
Did you draft yet, Pete, for your fantasy
My draft
football?
is September 2nd.
Mine's August 31st.
Oh, yeah.
How does that shit work? I'd like to do that.
I just actually had a draft in another league day before yesterday.
I like to do the draft a little later because you can get some guys that get injured still in preseason.
That's right. Yeah, I prefer to have it later too. But this one that I got in recently, they wanted to have it early. So
gotcha.
I think I had a pretty good draft. I hope a lot of upside.
It's kind of for my league, it's tough because we've got 10 guys doing it, and so the more you have, obviously, the less quality players you get for these snake drafts now. So
the way it works, Wes, is you draft a quarterback. Most leagues are 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. The flex could be a wide receiver, or you could start a wide receiver or a running back, and then a kicker and a defense and a tight end.
Oh, okay.
So you draft these players that you think will do well, and every week you put a starting lineup in. You put your quarterback in, you put your running backs in. You got a whole team. You'll have some guys on the bench too. You'll have like 12 players, I think, somewhere around in there.
If they did that shit in the WNBA, everybody'd want Caitlin Clark, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
Hold on, JR. I'm
tell you
gonna see if I can start some shit right here.
The secret in fantasy football is you draft players from a team that is a throw first team. I'm telling you, that's the secret in fantasy football.
Unless it's a non-PPR league where
correct
the run heavy.
On a PPR league, yes. The key is draft players, even running backs, on a throw heavy offense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Who's your quarterback, Joe?
I listen. I went with upside, man. My quarterback's Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Marvin Harrison Jr. James Conner's healthy. We got that awesome tight end in what's that tight end guy's name? He's a top 3 tight end. He's not
Kelsey.
No. For the Cardinals, not.
Oh, I got you.
Not Kelsey. No, not Zach Ertz.
Not there no more. Yeah.
No.
Y'all see where Jim Harbaugh's wanting Colin Kaepernick to be a coach with him?
Anyways, yeah, I got Kyler Murray is my quarterback. My running backs are Saquon Barkley and Isaiah Pacheco. My wide receivers are CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Malik Neighbors, the rookie wide receiver for the Giants, Deebo Samuel, and I got another good receiver. All my receivers have most of my players have at least have a decent floor with a lot of upside.
So the last 3 years in a row of fantasy football, I've done very well with the same quarterback. And guess who that quarterback is? And I haven't intentionally drafted them every year, but it's kind of fallen in my lap. I'm like,
well, where are you drafting him at? How late?
Second round usually.
Oh, geez, second round, man! You're going early for a quarterback, so it better be a top. It's a top 3 quarterback if you're picking him in the second round. It better be Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen.
Patrick Mahomes actually gets snatched up quick usually, and Josh Allen has not done good last year at least.
Jalen Hurts?
Nope.
So wait a minute. You took a quarterback in the second round, and it wasn't Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, or Josh Allen.
Correct.
Well, you'd get smashed in any league I'm in. That's dumb.
It's all luck of the draw, man. One quarterback might do good, but the rest of the offense might not.
Lamar Jackson.
You know what? Actually, yeah, I take it back. Yes, I did get Lamar last year. My first quarterback picked was Lamar. The second one I got, and that has done me very well in the last 3 years, is Dak.
Oh yeah. Dak. Well, thanks CeeDee Lamb for that.
Yeah.
Without CeeDee Lamb, Dak he plummets.
I'm eyeballing another quarterback for this year. I'm like, you know what? If he's available when I'm ready, I'm gonna get his ass. That's the second-year quarterback in that should have been the Panthers quarterback in Houston.
In
What's his name?
Houston's quarterback. Oh, CJ Stroud. Yeah.
CJ. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, man. He's got freaking Stephon Diggs to throw to, Nico Collins, Tank Dale.
Yeah, exactly. Wes is lost right now. He's like, damn, what the heck to talk about?
No, I'm looking up fantasy football.
Now that's an all-day study right there.
Now we could do a damn show on that. Now
We'll
get some viewers with that topic.
You might get some special guests for that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We need a fantasy football league amongst the real fishermen for fun.
Yeah.
Don't even need to do a buy-in. Let's do it for fun.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Create it, JR. Do it.
How do you want it? You want a PPR, non-PPR?
PPR. I love PPR. I prefer it. I feel like PPR will be a lot more friendly for those that have never done it before.
Other than it being PPR, you just want like standard scoring, like 6 points for touchdowns, all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, the real fisherman, there's only, 4 of us? Me, you. I guess you could count Scott Perry. He's on here from time to time. So me, you.
We can get Scott. We can John on board. We can get Will White.
Okay. Let's see. Me, you. I don't even know if Scott would play. I don't even think Scott watches NFL football. I think he's more of a college guy.
He's a little bitch anyways. No, I was kidding.
Yeah. I don't know if he'd even get in it, man.
I mean, you get at least 6 guys.
I'll start one. I'll set it for 8 people. Yeah. And I don't know. We'll play for something.
You want to do something stupid like a $5 buy-in? That way, winner takes all.
Yeah. Everybody, as long as everybody's got Cash App. Well, I mean, I trust everybody to pay anyways.
Venmo, I got, we all do.
Yeah. And
do a small marginal amount for these guys never done before.
Let's say
something to look forward to.
Just 5 seems kind of low. I think we should at least do 20.
I'm game. Throw the amount. I'm game for it.
$20. Okay.
But it doesn't matter the guys that have never done it before that would want to do it too. So is that $20 they want to trash or what? So I'm game for whatever.
All right, I got at least 2 guys. I could probably come up with 3 or 4. Really, Wes.
Sure, there'll be no issue finding guys. Get Lee Huffman.
Wes, you want in it?
Too, others.
He's self-muted.
He's mumbling.
I'm gonna assume he said yes. So me, you, and Wes, that's 3, and then you said John, that's 4.
John will do it probably. Yeah, get Lee Huffman on board.
Lee Huffman, that's 5. I can get. Well, I mean, do you just want to keep it all fishermen? Because my friends really aren't fishermen, like Lacey.
Do it all fishermen, and then use the friends for fill-ins that
Okay, well, we got. So far, we got 5 fishermen.
1 or 2 more that normally are wishy-washy. And you wish you had a couple backups just in case.
Does anybody know Scotty Cannon?
Yeah, I do. That's my best friend.
Okay, well then he's in. He's watching the fishing show. I mean, I
just checked. If he forgets to watch it, I gave him 2 big old pieces of mangrove snapper tonight, so his fat ass is probably didn't eat all that fish or forgot about the show. So I had
to damn.
Now Scotty's my buddy.
What do you want to name it, Pete?
The Real Fisherman Football Edition. There you go.
Real Fisherman. That's too long. Let's just call it Real Fisherman. Yeah.
All right.
So you're drafting players kind of like in a virtual game, and then when they play in real life, you're
getting the points. Like what's your favorite NFL football team, Wes?
I like college, NFL. I like Mahomes. I'm a big Mahomes fan, so I say.
Okay, so the Chiefs. Okay, let's say you draft. Let's say you draft Patrick Mahomes for your quarterback, Isaiah Pacheco for your running back, and then you draft Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice.
Yeah,
and the Chiefs defense, and then
everybody's gonna want them. Can I get them too?
That's just where it just depends on where you want to. You don't want to. You want to be smart when you're drafting. There's all types of different approaches. There's going to be.
Yeah.
You're going to have. I don't know how many rounds we're going to have, but each round, like the running backs are going to be valuable. The running backs and the wide receivers are going to be your most valuable. They're going to go first. So in a PPR league, which is a point, what that means is point per reception. So in a point per reception format, scoring format, the wide receivers are a little bit more valuable than the running backs. So what I like to do in a PPR format is I like to do what the drafting approach called hero RB. So I'll draft either a wide receiver or a running back with my first pick. And then in the second round, if I drafted a running back in the first round, I'll draft a wide receiver in the second round. It's called a hero RB approach. And I'll build that's how I start the foundation of my team. And then I'm just drafting the best player available. And I might draft 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers in a row if that is the best player available. Now you do have to make a decision when it gets to the point you start getting down in the 4th, 5th round, and your quarterbacks, or most of your good quarterbacks, your Josh Allens, your Patrick Mahomes, your Jalen Hurts, your Anthony Richardson, all of your top 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks, they're going to be going. So you have to make a decision. Do I want to draft this wide receiver that I really want? I feel like he's got a lot of upside, but he's probably not going to be there if I don't get him. He won't be there next round. Do I go ahead and get my quarterback now, or do I go with a streaming quarterback? Because
Wes is taking notes over there.
There's only 8 people in the league, so
you're
going to have.
I hadn't followed the NFL a lot. Believe it or not, I know y'all going to laugh, but about 2 years ago, I really started following college women's basketball and the WNBA. And I tell you, dude, I love watching Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell. I mean, hey, y'all, hold on a minute. Anthony.
Mute yourself.
Anthony. Oh, he's talking to Anthony.
Hey, listen, there's some guy on here. We were talking about fishing, and I mentioned your name, and he said he was the only reason you ever caught a fucking fish offshore. Seriously.
Bullshit.
You stupid.
I mean, hey, I told him, I said, well, I don't know. I said, I thought Anthony was a pretty good fisherman. He said, yeah, but he said, when Anthony's doing all them videos, he always wants me to stay out of the video.
Bullshit.
Huh? All right. Well, I just want to let you know. What's his name? Matt Queen. Huh? Do you know a Matt Queen?
Oh, yeah.
So is he telling the truth?
Wes loves starting shit. Well, I tell you.
Damn.
He lives for that shit.
He does.
God alive.
And then he said something about you you must have thought you was building a house that day at the weigh-in. I said, damn. I said, I got to call Andrew. He wasn't talking mad shit.
He must have thought he was building a house.
Come on the show.
He had that Lufkin. He might as well have had a damn tool belt on with a hammer.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. We'll just fuck with you. I'm see if you're going to get on the show with us. Get on, catch your mail wise. You throwing the net at dark?
It ain't dark over here yet, brother.
Where you at?
Over here, loud.
It ain't dark up there yet. Damn. Oh. All right, well, go get your bait, buddy. I'll holler at you. All right. Catch your bait.
Okay.
Did you hear him? He said, you stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, so JR, my approach to football is a little different, kind of similar but different. So, like anything else, you try to get a top-notch receiver, running back, or 2, back and forth. And then once the quarterbacks start going, I try to get a matching quarterback to at least one of my top-notch receivers or running backs. That way you can get double or nothing,
Yeah, that's called stacking.
Yeah.
And I don't know nothing about the NFL. I don't know what player's good, who's bad, who should I draft. I mean, let me ask you a question. So if I like Kansas City, how many people could have Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback? 100? 200?
No, just one.
Just one?
Yeah, once somebody drafts Patrick Mahomes, then
But
he's gone. The only way you're going to get Patrick Mahomes if somebody drafts him is to offer them a trade.
Well, hell, if you start out late as I am, I wouldn't have nothing but a bunch of fucking bench riders.
No. We do a draft order. Like they'll choose the draft order 30 minutes before the draft. They'll let you know where you're picking. You could have the first overall pick or the third or the sixth.
Well, how many people play DraftKings?
Millions.
Millions.
Well, goddamn, there ain't but so many players in the NFL.
Well, no, but in our particular league, those players are going to be owned by one owner. Like if Pete drafts Patrick Mahomes, he's got Patrick Mahomes. Nobody else can get him. If I draft
Kelsey,
if I draft Travis Kelsey, nobody else can have him. If I draft Christian McCaffrey, nobody else can have him. Could
me and Pete trade? Like, say, for instance, hey, I want Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna give you $100. You trade him.
No, that's called collusion. That's cheating, and you'll get kicked out of the league for that.
I mean, we could do that behind the table.
You could offer him one of your players. Like, let's say
offer one of my shooting players and $100.
Let's say you could offer him one of your running backs for Patrick Mahomes, or your quarterback, or you could offer a combination of play. You can offer a wide receiver and a running back for him. He doesn't have to accept it.
I couldn't offer him a bench rider and $100.
No, that would be collusion. That's cheating.
That's too funny.
The commissioner would be forced to kick you out of the league if you.
I would.
Well, who's the commissioner?
I would just pick Pat Mahomes to piss you off in the first round.
I don't know. It would probably either be me or Pete. Whoever's familiar with. I'm familiar with Yahoo Fantasy. So it could be me, or we could just co-commish, or he could be the commissioner, or I could be the commissioner. It doesn't matter.
Well, I tell you, I did tell him I did this. So, but Scotty's we used to be a big McBeard fan. I know y'all heard of McBeard. So he got me on it, and he was telling me, that he wanted the DeWalt air compressor. So and he was
There's
watching
that South Carolina slang coming out. You hear that, Pete?
What?
Air compressor.
Well, anyway, he wanted this air compressor, and he was bid on it. And when he'd bid on it, I was watching him. I'd go up $1, and he'd go up $1. And I fucked with him for about 4 hours. He finally said, "To hell with it." And he went to bed. And the next day, I told him, I said, "Did you get your air compressor?" He said, "No." He said, "Somebody kept bidding." Somebody kept outbidding me last night. And I said, "Fuck it," and went to bed.
Dang. Hey, you could have robbed him of his air compressor.
Right.
I think he wound up getting it though.
Okay. All right, guys. It's been a good show. We're going on an hour. Are you guys satisfied?
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna lay down and go to bed.
It's the show we've ever did. Except for Matt talking shit about
it was boring.
Get this fancy football shit going.
Yeah. All right, let's get it going.
I have to get Scotty to explain it to me. Maybe he can explain it to me better.
Ryan Spivey said it was a great show. Thank you, Ryan. Great show. Very informative, he said.
Well, so listen, I got one more question about this fantasy shit. Okay.
Oh boy. God, alive. 10 more minutes. Here we go.
You say in our league. So do y'all start your own? Like one of y'all will start a league just for so many people, and then we go in and pick who we want?
Yep. You'll have your own team. It'll be Wes's team, whatever you want to name your team. And you'll have your own team, your own players. You draft your own players.
How do we pick the players?
We have a draft.
We have a time and a date we set to draft players. And
you'll have to get on Yahoo Fantasy. Go ahead and you probably want to go ahead and log in, make you an account for that. So Yahoo Fantasy, and I will send you an email, and you'll click on that email, and it'll take you into the league. And then once you go into the league and you've logged into Yahoo, then you can download the Yahoo Fantasy app on your phone. Then all you have to do is click on your Yahoo Fantasy app, and it'll take you to your team. It's a website, and it's got all these options. You can click on them.
We can build our own team like I could get Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City. I could get another player from another team, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, it depends on when you want to take a quarterback, because, like I said before, running backs and wide receivers are more valuable. So you don't want to take a quarterback with your very first pick. So taking a quarterback at the earliest you should take a quarterback, in my opinion, is maybe the third round. So once the third round rolls around and Patrick Mahomes is still available, if he's still available, unless somebody snatches him up early, which that does happen, then you could go ahead and draft a quarterback kind of early in the third round and go ahead and pick up Patrick Mahomes, and you could probably get
teams play each other. How does this work?
So you have a head-to-head matchup. Like every week, you're matched up with someone else, and
you have to
all the points is the winner.
Yeah, you have to submit a lineup every week. You have to, because you're going to have a team. You're going to have some extra players. You can't start them all. You got to figure out which ones you want to start. Like if you got two quarterbacks, let's say you got Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes is playing outdoors against the number one defense, and Jared Goff is playing in a dome against a very weak pass defense. You might want to start, you play matchups sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes players are so good, they're just matchup proof, and you just play them no matter who they're playing. Like Patrick Mahomes would probably be one of those players. But you just
a lot more art to it than there really is. Seriously.
And I've never did this before, so I know these questions sound stupid, but how does my team, so how does this work? Like the team I pick, and is it in reality? How does it play Pete's team? The team I pick.
So if Pete starts, let's say Pete starts Jared Goff, the quarterback for the Lions, and you start Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay. The way the scoring is set up is you get a point for. Let's say you get a point for every 10 yards of passing. So if Patrick Mahomes passes for 100 yards, then that's
you're talking about in a real football game.
That's 10 points.
In
real life, yes. So that's how you get your points. And a running back, or a wide receiver, he gets every time he catches a pass, it's a point. So if the receiver that you start catches 10 passes, then he automatically has 10 points. Plus, he's getting points for the amount of yards he got. So if he caught 10 passes for 100 yards, then the scoring, I think, is like a point for every.
Every 10 yards.
Every 10 yards.
I could get like Walter Payton and Randy Moss, players like that.
If it were the 80s, yes, and the 90s for Randy Moss, or 2000.
Oh, they have to be playing now.
They have to be playing now.
Oh, okay.
Well, like when you put your lineup in, you're waiting on Sunday. You looking like whatever players you have. Like if your wide receiver, if your wide receivers, one of them plays at 1 o'clock and one of them plays at 4 o'clock. Then if the 1 o'clock game starts, then you can look at your team and you can see how many points your 1 o'clock receiver is scoring. And then your other receiver is not going to start till 4 o'clock. And then once that game starts, you can look and see how many points, and it tallies your points. And you, from all of your players, you're from your quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, kicker, all the way to your defense. It adds all those up and it gives you a total.
And I signed up on fantasy football, right?
Yahoo
what?
Yahoo Fantasy Football.
Yahoo Fantasy Football. All right, I'm gonna try it.
And that app that JR speaks of, Yahoo, is probably the most user-friendly for a beginner for sure. So
you gonna send me a link, Junior?
Yeah, once I set the league up, I'll send you an invite to the. But you need to go ahead and have your Yahoo Fantasy account. So it's just like it'll probably ask you for your email. You'll probably have to put in a password. You have to probably create a password.
Is it in the App Store?
Yes.
And,
Yahoo Fantasy. Let's see. Hold on a minute. Make sure I'm getting the right thing.
I have it right here. It's called Yahoo. I mean, it's simple. Yahoo Fantasy Football. That's it.
Yahoo Fantasy app.
Yep.
Purple.
Right there.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Install.
All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by on The Real Fisherman, and we'll see you guys next week. Good night, Pete. Good night, Wes.
Right.
Good night, guys.
Until next time.
Y'all have a good